Hey there, Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising. Welcome to your reading for 2024. Happy New Year to you. We are going to take an interesting look at it. We're going to use these karma cards here to see what planets, and you have planets. I was going to say, it's been planet, but you guys have too. What are you working with this year to really help you on your journey? And when planets move through certain signs, what signs to be paying attention to. And you're supposed to be paying attention to what's going on in Libra. You're the first sign that's gotten your own house. So I find that interesting. Your own sign. And then what houses are going to be highlighted this year for you? You seem to have a lot going on, but I'm going to let it go. Let's just check. Yeah, okay. Well, you have the South Node going through your sign, so there's a lot about letting go, releasing, creating space for what's new and what's next. And so you have here the third house, the ninth house, and the fifth house. So the third house is communication, and you have the planet of Mercury showing up here. So they're really doubling down on how you communicate in general this year with people. They're saying with yourself. And about how you bring about the joy in your life. Oh, that's super interesting because you have here the fifth house. So the fifth house is creativity. It's fun. It's romance. It's sometimes the house of your children. So because that is the ultimate in creation, right? And so you also have Pluto here. So Pluto is interesting to me for you because Pluto is going to be trining your sign over there in Aquarius. And so there's a real flow of energy about what is being deconstructed in the air sign energy to be reconstructed. And Jupiter, even though it's not showing up here, Jupiter is going to be in Gemini, and that is also going to be trining your sign. And so there's this really nice flow of energy around breaking things down in order to expand things and do things in a new and creative way. And so because Libra here is highlighted as the sign to be paying attention to, this energy that's flowing to you all year makes total sense to me. So Mercury is going to do a couple of retrogrades this year, because that's what Mercury always does. So we are, as I'm recording this, we're still in the shadow. Mercury is getting ready, though, to move out of Sagittarius, but in the energy of Sagittarius, it is in the energy of choice and decision making for you. And then when it moves into Capricorn soon, and I don't have the day in my head, sorry about that. But when it moves into Capricorn, it is going to be gosh, I think it's right around that new moon that it does that. So maybe that's this week as these are coming out. So let me just check since Mercury is coming up for you here. So it is going to move into Capricorn on the 15th or the 16th. Looks like the 15th. The 15th of January. And so when it does, that energy squares yours. And so, but it's getting out of the confusing. It's starting to get back up to speed. It's not quite up to speed until the sun moves into Aquarius. And Pluto is also moving to Aquarius at the same time. So there's a lot of a flow of energy there that will be really opening up in this energy. So the squaring energy for you with Mercury is going to it's going to be a little triggering, but it's very short-lived because Mercury will be getting up to speed and moving quickly, and it gets into Aquarius February 7th. So on February 7th, you'll have the Sun, you'll have Pluto, and you'll have Mercury all in Aquarius, and so really opening up and transforming that house for you, that flow of energy that moves towards your creative energy cycles. If you are a Libra rising, that Aquarius would be your fifth house. And so, and that's interesting. Okay, cool. So that's a really nice energy to be working with. So the creation that comes from that. And then you have here the ninth house also came through. And the ninth house is about your spiritual growth and development. And when the South Node goes through your sign, it definitely is helping you to let go of old ideas and old beliefs and finding a new way to find who you are, to see what it is that you believe in. And Pluto in Aquarius is going to have all of us reevaluating our our thank you. Spirit just told me, don't forget to tell you about the other retrogrades. So it'll be helping us to work with all of the different aspects of what we believe in and how to proceed forward. So the next time Mercury goes retrograde, it will go into shadow in the middle of March, and it will be retrograding completely in Aries. And so it is going to come in contact with the North Node while it is doing that. So this retrograde will be opposing your sign during the time of the eclipse, that complete solar eclipse that's happening on April 8th, which will be totally opposing you because the sun and the moon will be conjunct. But so they'll both be opposing the south node in your sign. Pay attention to what goes on there. Pay attention to what comes through. Pay attention to what you're reworking, right? Because it's a retrograde also. So because Mercury is so important, it'll be about your thoughts moving forward, then what you go back over, and then what you launch forward with the energy of that eclipse and what direction that you want to take things forward in your life. It clears the shadow in the middle of May, and then it's going to retrograde in another house that is ruled by Mercury. Virgo, no, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Hold on. Yep, Virgo. Barely gets into Virgo. It gets up to about 4 degrees of Virgo before it retrogrades back into Leo. And so that's a Mercury-ruled sign. That's in August. So from like the middle of July starts the shadow period, retrogrades on the 5th, and then it clears shadow in September. You guys have an eclipse that happens in your sign on October 2nd. That's very interesting the way that it is aspected, and at that time Mercury is in your sign conjunct that eclipse. That's why they wanted me to look at this. Mercury will be conjunct the sun at the same time that the moon is conjunct the sun for the new moon solar eclipse, that is happening in your sign on October 2nd. That energy will be in trine with Pluto in Aquarius. Jupiter will be just out of trine, but still over there flowing toward that energy. It will retrograde back into that. Jupiter will retrograde. Oh, I can't see how far back it retrogrades. All right. So, paying attention to what Pluto is doing in Aquarius. It's going to be really key. So, it's a spiritual opportunity. So these things read through like little sentences. So, we're going to see what we get here because you have a lot of cards, okay? So, there is a need for the control of and the awareness of your cooperation to perfect. Perfect means to bring to conclusion, which South Node in your sign is what that's about. It's not about being perfect. It's to complete, okay? So to bring to completion your ideas, the power of love, and your spiritual values. You got a lot going on. There's an obsession with the many thoughts about or from decisions about your short-term thinking and your short-term trips, your investment, the risks that you're willing to take, and long-range thinking or travel. So you have short-term and long-term, both at play here. There's a need to think about things in the immediate future this year and also how they play out in the long range. And what are you willing to invest your time and your energy, no risk, no reward into, right? And so that's kind of cool. You have, there may be a power struggle around words. So Mercury doing these retrogrades, Mercury also has another retrograde at the end of the year in Sagittarius. And so again, that energy is in the energy of choice and decision making with you. And so there's 4 retrogrades to be paying attention to. But I think that really powerful one right there, that's going on, the one that is opposing your sign, and then the conjunction of Mercury at the time of your new moon eclipse. So this power struggle around words, about who or what is around you, about your creations, and about what is to be shared. And this is about the fairness that you show to who and what is around you, to your creations, about what you share. And so there's going to be a need to find the balance in the relationships, in the things that you put your time and your energy into, what is yours and what you share out into the world. And so you're going to have a lot of balancing to do this year, right? But it has a lot to do with communication. Communication houses are the 3rd house and the 9th house. The 3rd house is short distance and daily communication, and the 9th house is long distance communication. It's also about what you learn and study and grow. Both houses are ruled by Mercury. And so that they both show up here, it becomes really important. Communication is really important. And there is, because of this energy of Pluto, helping to, because Pluto is also going to retrograde for a while back into Capricorn. And so it is going to trine these 2 houses this year. It's currently in Capricorn. It's going to get back into Capricorn at the beginning and the end of the year, right? And the rest of the time it's in Aquarius. But in any event, it's going to be trining these Mercury-ruled houses all year long. And so it's about the knowledge and the information that you bring in, how you receive it, and then doing your own research to understand it. Like, don't take anybody's word for anything this year. That's probably a good rule moving forward for a while. Doing our own, learning to be our own detectives, our own, seekers of the truth. Our willingness to see what is true, what are the facts, and how do they resonate with us, and how does that affect our belief systems and our willingness to shift our perspective so that we are working for the greatest good. And so there's a lot of things up for grabs right now. Okay, so there's long range, there's short range, but there's this creation energy. Okay, so resurrect, communicate. So something you're bringing back to communicate about it, about making the right connections, trusting that childlike inner innocence of yours. Your inner child needs a little help here. Chiron that is in Aries right now, so it's helping to heal the inner child. So this is an opportunity for you to look at that a little bit more. So it is about resurrecting and communicating the relationships you have by making the right connections, by giving trust to your own inner child that what brings joy is what is important, and remembering that it is about that everything that happens out there in the world, it all comes from the same source, right? That universal source of all that is. But here in this planet of polarity, we see the shadow and the light. And there you are, Libra, in the middle, balancing it out. And so you are going to be called on to continue to be balancing that energy. And the card of judgment is the Aquarius kind of energy, but it's really everybody's energy about choosing, deciding what is really our truth. Okay, so you're going to be doing a lot of that this year. So it says get to the heart of and analyze the beauty of the idea that is in question, the fun and the romance and making art, and also the philosophies and the laws involved. You got a lot going on. Got a lot going on this year. We have, do or die. You must let your mind tell you how to do it with your partners and get your ideas going. Do it dramatically and do it in a big way. That thing that you have been sitting on that brings that sense of source of joy to your inner child, trust that you want to do that. Connect with the right people. Communicate your ideas with the right partnerships. You be discerning about who you're telling what and when, but you have something that is wanting to be birthed out there, be communicated out into the world, and it's something that will bring joy not only to you, but to others. Something that's creative and inspiring to you, and this is an opportunity to bring it forward for others. I'm sorry about that beeping noise. I think it's an Amazon truck. or actually most of theirs squawk like you're stepping on a duck. So it might be some other kind of a like UPS or something backing up. Talking about Mercury in retrograde, right? So let's get into the 9-card spread, and then we'll pull some cards. We've got the card of the High Priestess here as the key to the situation. So the High Priestess is saying, trust your intuition, right? Trust what is going on inside of you. We have the card of the Moon. All right, so to me, when and I'm actually going to share more of my ideas about how the tarot works on YouTube here. I'll be doing it in posts throughout the year. But the Moon card is about using your intuition. I don't think it's a Pisces card. I think everybody has the sun and the moon. This is about being able to go within, gather information, trusting our intuition. And that was one of the things that came up. So this is communicating through your heart space, is how you're going to transform a situation this year. It's going to be really, truly understanding yourself. Oh, Libra. And getting out of your head. All right, so you have the card of transformation, the Death card, sitting here as your overall energy. Ooh, underneath it, the Judgment card, which is so funny because I totally saw that in my head on something I was saying earlier. Look, this is not, this leads to this. This is the South Node through your sign, helping you to see what needs to be harvested, what needs to be let go of. Notice how that scythe there, that sickle, looks like this moon in transformation, and here the 2 moons that surround her, right? And so, and look how that looks like kind of like an eclipse energy on all of these, right? And so these eclipses, the South Node at your sign, in your sign is a big deal. It's a chance for you to remove and let go of the things that do not serve you, and to trust and follow that inner light so that you know what direction you're moving in. And so this is a good thing. You've got to get out of your head and into your heart. I'm gonna skip through a few things here. We'll get to all of it, but not in the order I usually do. Look, in your heart, you're being encouraged. See the ladybug of luck? To tap into what brings the joy and the happiness. Because here, what do you need to overcome? You need to get out of your head. This 8 of Swords. This 8 of Swords, here's the thing. You're not really stuck. And that child laying in bed and resting is healing. And so this year, while that South Node is going through your sign, and there's a lot of letting stuff go. A lot of letting stuff go. South Node got into your sign in July of 2023. And it is going to be moving into Virgo soon. This year it starts sneaking around that way. So here you go. Focus on the joy and that you're creating, the community of joy that you're creating. That is what the luck is to be found. And recognize that situations are healing and you're not really stuck. You're not really stuck. It's just a matter of making the choice and the decision to get unstuck, to set yourself free. Because in the area of resources, we do have this 5 of Cups. And you see how the sun is shining there and all the cups are tipped over. This is not the one that says that there's any cups left standing up. You just need to turn around and see them. That's not what it says. This says that when you let the emotions of what's out there dictate your attitude, it's an attitude of despair. When you choose to go within, make your choices and decisions from within, decide what is worth keeping and what isn't, making your own decisions, that leads to this emotional satisfaction in the heart space. Your job this year is an inside job. Whenever the South Node goes through our sign, it's an inside job year. You have an inside job year going on. And the challenge for you, look, is your card. Is finding the balance between the dark and the light. Right? We talked about that. All that is, in order to fully experience itself, this energy, develop the polarity. And we live in that polarity here in this planet where we see the shadow and the light, and we have to find the balance. And the shadows are not necessarily bad, and the light is not necessarily good. That light doesn't look so good. This one does. This dark doesn't look so good, but this one does. And so judging things as good or bad based on shadow or light is not what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to understand both things are necessary and making choices and decisions that create the joy and the happiness. You have the two cards that are the most happy cards here. First off, we've got the Page of Cups. This is what you're seeking. Okay, so usually this is where you're seeking information and guidance from. Well, it's in your heart space. It's in your emotional energy. It's not up in your head. Okay, this is the place to be seeking it, and this is the place to be finding it. And then we have this Eight of Wands. What's draining your energy? Too much information. Too much stuff. I don't want to tell people not to be informed. I do think to a certain level we have to maintain some kind of a flow of information from what's going on out there in the world. But there is a difference between spending hours scrolling, because once you start watching something on YouTube, they keep showing you more things like it. And I think all the social medias are like that, right? They found that's what the algorithm does. It's like, so you've got to, so here are my strategies for knowing what's going on in the world without getting sucked into that's the only stuff that shows up in my feed. I open to the home page and there's a variety of things there, and I look at the headlines. And then I listen to Seth Meyers because he gives you the news with comedy. I know that there are others that try to do it, but I don't find them so funny. I find him funny. He works for me. So that's what I do. And every once in a while, there's a story that comes up. I listen to the BBC because then I get stuff about what's going on in the world, not just what's going on here. And then I try to keep everything really balanced, and that's it. I'm in and I'm out because I can get sucked in so easily. I've got Mars in Virgo. Mars in Virgo wants to know the details in my 9th house, right, of doing the research. So that's what I do to protect my energy. You're going to figure out what works for you, but there's one idea. Here is the action to take. You have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is creating something new and different. It is a house, but it is a tree house. Look at the joy there. It's something new and creative. It's something that is stable, but in a different way. It's a new way of looking at things. It's an elevated way of looking at things from the top of a treehouse, right? And so this is what you get to do here. It's in collaboration and cooperation with, and look at that inner child, just how happy it is. And so I think that for you this year, it's about being willing to do things differently, being willing to let things go that don't work for you. But communication and what Mercury is doing is going to trigger a lot of things, and paying attention to the changes that are going to be happening in the communication sector because Pluto has moved into an air sign, and it's trining the south node in your sign, so it's trining what needs to let go of. It's trining Mercury ruled Jupiter, Mercury ruled Gemini with Jupiter, and then is looking to expand it. And so there's going to be a lot of things coming through. Like you have here so we have this year on February 11th we get the new moon in Aquarius. Starts the new Chinese Lunar New Year, right? And we have the year of the metal dragon. And so I'm pulling dragon cards, and you have the fire dragon. This fire dragon here says burns up the lower energies around you. I want you to notice in the background there's the fire. That's the fire that is coming from that fire dragon that is burning up the lower energies. That is what you are harvesting this year. You're harvesting the lower energies. You're letting them go. And if you look up here, you see that eclipse. You see that eclipse. That is your eclipse right here that is depicted here. It's harvest season, and the pumpkins are still in the field, so that means they're not quite ripe. This is the Libra eclipse that's being shown here. And here's this fire of the north node that is burning up the lower energies and pointing us in the direction of which way to go. The north node is over there in fiery Aries. So it burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. clear your soul pathway. It is a year of harvest. Harvesting what doesn't work for you and putting yourself in the direction that does. And look at this. This looks like a pen, and it kind of looks like communication. It looks like a communication there from spirit. This would be a great year to start journaling if you don't do it, to get your ideas down on paper. It is a 9, like the 9th house. It's called rewards. We have liftoff. Energetically and physically, things are about to take off in your world. Hold on to your hat. All your hard work is about to pay off. Whatever your venture is right now, there is great movement coming. Things are about to skyrocket for you. Good things do come, and this is your time to enjoy them. You have done the work, and now it is time to reap the rewards. It is time to reap the rewards. It is the harvest time. Let go of what doesn't serve you anymore, what doesn't bring you joy. Start focusing on the things that you do. Usually when the South Node goes through a sign, I think it's going to be, and I'm not going to say it was easy, but it seems like you guys have a much easier run through it than Scorpio did. Because when the South Node went through Scorpio, all the planets were squaring it. But the South Node going through your sign, planets are trining it. The ones that have set up housekeeping, we also have what? We have Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus is, also a Venus planet sign, and so that helps to mitigate some of that. And it doesn't even square; it's a quincunx. It's like you're aware of it, but that energy is always there, and sudden downloads and insights about what you want to create. You actually have a really, and I'm not going to say that you won't find difficult moments, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you are willing to release things when they come up for review and they are not working for you, and you have then if you're willing to do it and being an initiating sign, you probably are, that makes it so much easier for you to do these things and to make this energy really, really work for you in a much easier way. And so you have here the artist, the 5th house. I create my vision. You are being asked to create something, to build something that brings joy to your inner child this year. This is how you gently and easily move through this energy. This is how you create the balance, by letting go of what is no longer fun and finding things that are fun and joy-filled. Create something new in your life. This is a time for building for you. Oh my God. You have such great cards coming out. These two also wanted to come out. Oh, look at them. Okay, so you have green tourmaline. Abundance and prosperity are an infinite supply. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. You have jade. I am incredibly lucky. I always have plenty of money with plenty to spare. Jupiter going through Gemini, trining your sign, is about expansion. You can really create something that brings in a bunch of abundance and wealth. And you have, I am healthy and strong thanks to physical movement and exercise outdoors. Get outside, support your physical body temple. It helps to clear your mind, and go do something creative this year. It's going to lead to a lot of prosperity and abundance in your life. The prosperity and abundance in your life may be financial, but for sure it can be emotional. And where it is that you've been feeling like finances have been not great, here's your chance to recover it through you creating something new that brings you joy. And in the fact that it is creative and it brings you joy, it will change your energetic signature. So let's say, for instance, you are an accountant and you're like, yeah, I don't, but you pick up a hobby like photography, or you like to do paint by numbers. It doesn't matter, right? You're doing something that brings you joy. That changes the frequency that you vibrate at. And so while your job may not be changing, your job description may change. You might get a promotion or something because you are living in a state of joy. You have changed your vibration, and it has become magnetic, and it draws more joy, more abundance, more prosperity into your life. And so this is Chalcopyrite. Oh my gosh, I can never say this. Chalcopyrite. And you have jade and you have green tourmaline. And there are jade beads that are fairly affordable that you can make that you can make a bracelet out of. I just saw though like a little jade prosperity dragon. So check out with the feng shui, where's the money part of your house, and put one of those there. So and if you are looking for how to do that, Nancy Richmond Tarot, she does feng shui. So if you go there at the bottom of any of her video, there's a link to connect with her if you just want to figure out where your prosperity dragon should be hanging out this year. All right, you guys take really good care of yourselves. This actually looks like a really good year for you. I think you find more joy. Create more joy this year by letting things go and stepping into a new path, a new direction, a new way of being. All right, you guys take care. I am offering a course that starts soon. Details are in the description box below, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take your chart, and it's a very small class. It's class size is limited to 10 people. We're gonna get into your chart and study the astrology of your chart and allow you to see what it is that that makes you tick, where your gifts are, where your talents are, what brings you joy, what are the challenges, but what you have come in with that helps you to overcome those challenges. It helps explain so many things that happen in our lives, and it also is very eye-opening to see what more we can do and accomplish what we came with. And so it is the blueprint. It is the owner's manual for you. So if you'd like to check that out, that class starts on the 30th of January. So don't take too much time. Go ahead and check it out, and also join me on Facebook. I do the astrology every day, but there's more information also about the class there. So either place would be a great way to connect with me, or you can email me at moondirected@gmail.com. That link is also in the description box below. You guys have a great 2024. It is up to you to make it that way, but you can do it. Talk to you soon.